All right, finals time. Let's see what we've got here. We're on the draw again, and we've got actually a nice hand here. This is nothing wrong with this hand, except for that we do need another land at some point. But we've got so here he is. Here's the guy that took all of our stuff. But yeah, we've got a nice little opener here, and never mind. So yeah, so this does happen sometimes. They will take the. I'm gonna run out the Shamble Shark right now. I don't like to, like if he has nothing going on, I don't want to turn on Psychic Strike for him, and this is an important card for us. Yeah, see, look, he didn't play anything on turn 3, so it's pretty often the case that happens. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to run out Frogadiile, see if it gets Psychic Struck. No, it doesn't. All right, so we're going to battle then. Yeah, we'd battle anyway. Who are we kidding? But sometimes Simic takes these. They're not bad in Simic. They're okay. They're not as good as they are in our deck, obviously, but they're okay. All right, so what do we want to do here? Drakewing Krasis is a kind of obvious one. It puts up the most pressure, but it will just trade for this Cloudfin Raptor. If we play Millennial Gargoyle, we'll get an Evolve here and not here. If we play Elusive Krasis, that's not too bad. We'll get Evolve here and Evolve here, but it kind of uses up the 0-4 kind of quickly and doesn't keep maximum pressure on him. He's done nothing so far. I don't really know what his deck's up to here, but I am kind of interested in getting maximum pressure going. That would be Drakewing Krasis, but any creature means that he can trade Drakewing for that, so Millennial Gargoyle is probably a better choice in that case. I'm going to go with Millennial Gargoyle here. It's the least impactful immediately. There is actually a decision with Elusive Krasis. So one of the things that's guiding my decision here is, let's say we draw a land next turn. Then I can go Elusive Krasis, evolve my guys, and have Pit Fight up. That's if I play a 4-drop this turn. If I play a 3, then I might still have that play because I've got a couple of other 3s that I can play. So that play isn't completely dead to me, but using up our mana is a very good thing for us. I mean, like, the most awkward would be to play Drakewing Krasis, attack, and then have him evolve this, and then us have to spend our whole next turn pit fighting and not casting any dudes. That would be pretty bad. Long-term game, Elusive Krasis is better, but I really like playing it out when, like, if we play it now, then, like, the next 3 creatures we play, or at least 2 of the next 3 creatures we play will evolve him, which is good. But and it does evolve both of these guys. I think I am going to go for that. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try to think a little bit longer term and invest a little more into our Elusive Krasis here. It isn't the most efficient possible mana use, but sometimes you do have to change that in this deck. And it is great. I mean, look, we're still hitting him for 6 here. Like, either way you cut it, we're doing some pretty nice damage, right? So he's going to Spectacle away our Croconura and take 4. That was pretty expected. I'm not surprised by that. Sure, Call of Nightwing is not a card that we really care about here. He can put it on his, yeah, so he's going to get another one out of it, but like, this just isn't that big of a deal. We're going to pit fight that thing. This one isn't going to do it, and we're just going to have to hit a land? Okay. Oh, sweet, we hit a 2-drop, so that's fine too. All right, so let's play Shamble Shark. We're playing it first main so we can get an Elusive Krasis trigger going here. We're going to beat him down. He's going to start chump blocking. And he's going to attack first anyway, so I don't think there's a big draw here to waiting. So I'm going to pit fight. Yeah, this guy has plenty of toughness to go here, these 2, so that he doesn't get any more horror, bird, fairy, whatever tokens. So that's going to leave him with just 1. We're going to get an evolve trigger here and here off of either of these creatures that we play. So he's going to need to come up with a bomb or a nice stabilizer here to make it bad for us. I'm still curious to see how this turns out for us. I felt like being more aggressive because he hadn't done much, but he's got spells in his hand, and this is probably better play. All right, Denrova Horror's fine. What does he bounce? I guess just reset this Shamble Shark. Yeah, that's okay. I think I'm just going to get rid of this Gargoyle here. Is this a... No, it's not. So this is better than that. This is definitely better than that, and then we can recast that if we draw a land. So yeah, Gargoyle goes away. He's going to beat in there. Lands? No, Ivy Lane Denizen. Also quite good. I'm going to play that. Yeah, I'm going to play Ivy Lane Denizen here. I think, yeah, because this is going to evolve both guys anyway. So, and then the next turn we can actually make this big enough to attack, and we've got a lot more options. Plus, it uses up all of our mana. Again, we're waiting for that second land, and if we hit it, then we can play any two of these. We can play two of these creatures at once. All right, so it looks like our elusive Krasis play is panning out quite nicely for us, as it's really our key threat here. It's the one creature that can get in regularly, so that's nice. All right, there's our extra land. So we're going to move in on elusive Krasis. That's our plan here. So Shamble Shark, put a counter here, and I completely did that wrong. If I would have played the Drakewing Krasis first, we would have got 2 triggers, and I could have evolved first and then put a trigger on and then put another one. So we're going to be down a counter here, which is, I mean, it's unacceptable. Like, I just shouldn't have done that. So, yeah, we have to now deal with that. So instead, though, I'm going to play the Death Cult Rogue. It's not going to trigger the Denizen, but it will trigger our other Shamble Shark. And since this Drakewing Krasis has gone down in value since Mind Eye Drake is there, I think I'm better off with a guy that can actually attack, because he doesn't have any rogues right now. So we only have this one attack, and it should have been for 4. So that was, well, you know, that's interesting. And now I think about it, that might have been one of those mistakes that was actually better, because now we're going to get in for 2 with this instead of 0 with this. So even though it's 1 damage, like, it actually equals out. Still, I would have preferred to have thought that through beforehand. I might have come to this conclusion, but there's no excuse for me not, making sure that I knew that first. All right, he's flooding a bit here, but he does have a spell. All right, so that's his last one. So now we're in really good shape here. Ooh, really good shape, actually. Because we can steal this or this after next turn. This is not a rogue. So right now we can hit him for 5, 6. Does this evolve anything? It does not. So we actually would prefer this to just be a green creature, because apparently we can't kill him this turn. Could have potentially, although, no, again, it would have been the same amount of damage this turn because of this creature, but if we attack with everything, can we get him? So this gets through, this gets through. We have 3 creatures. He trades this for this. He eats this and he eats that. So no, that's definitely not the plan. All right. Well, if we can't kill him this turn, then we're just going to attack him for 5 and play Simic Manipulator. Because this will ensure victory next turn, and if not, then even if he pulls it some miracle or something to wipe a bunch of our creatures, we can play Drakewing Krasis. All right, he's just milling us, basically to figure out what we've got in our deck. Also, I guess he could have like Mind Grind or something. Yeah, he's going to concede here, so he's just going to take a look at like 4 cards off the top of our deck, basically, and try to figure out what we got. Let's see what he's seen. He's seen hybridization is kind of a big one. All right, sweet. But the key that he didn't see is the Mystic Genesis. Because that one, you get them real good the first time sometimes, and after they know it's there, it gets a lot worse. I mean, there are times when they just have to play into it, but usually they can do something about it. All right, so we didn't see a ton of removal, but we did see some. Considering adding like a forced adaptation here, I feel like that might actually be decent against him. Stupid Death Cult Rogue. Maybe we'll just run this back and then try it again, but I think I'm going to keep an eye on that. So we're going to try to get a better feel for how much removal this guy actually has. Because against decks that don't have a ton, and I don't know if his does or not, but if it doesn't, then, it's like, we can get we can play like just a Shamble Shark and just start ramping that thing up, or turn like a random you know, whatever, like a Death Cult Rogue, excuse me, into like a straight up win condition. So, all right. What have we? Slaughterhorn, Spell Rupture, Hands of Binding. I don't think I can ship this back, but I wouldn't call this a great hand. Needs Shamble Sharks. All of our hands need Shamble Shark. Although we have an Experiment 1, although we haven't seen him. I don't think we've seen him at all, actually. Yeah, go. Spell Rupture for 0. Hope he doesn't pay. I guess that's a thing. So what does he have here? Sage's Rodenizen. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I think that we are just kind of running out Slaughterhorn here, actually, and just doing it. Yeah, not a great spot. Yeah, he's milling us. Whoa! We were getting a lot of action. 10 cards! It doesn't really matter, but wow, that's a lot. We still haven't shown him that thing either, but we were going to be set up this game. We were drawing 10 spells in a row, man. See if he wants to attack here. I want him to. I actually really want him to, because then I can Hands of Binding both of his guys, but he did not. So he wants to trade this off, which we can prevent him from doing, but we just don't really have a great game plan here. All right, well, I think I'm going to Hands of Binding this guy down, and because we need to start applying some pressure here. And if he wants to make this trade, then I can Scab Clan Charger him away, and if he doesn't, then I can just keep up Spell Rupture. Pretty sure he's going to block, though. All right. So we've effectively neutralized his 2 threats in that way, but, you know, if he wants to mill us out, he's got a pretty nice start. He's going to need a lot of backup for it. And we've got a nice follow-up play with Leyline Phantom here, so we're in an okay position. But we just don't have a whole lot going on. There's a Shamble Shark. Okay. I think I'm just going to pass a turn here. Maybe not, actually. Let me think. So if I attack, he's going to snap block, I'm pretty sure. And then we trade off. And that's not the worst case for me. Yeah, I think that's okay. Because then I still have like a miscalculation in my hand because I've got Shamble Shark as well. So that's okay. And I don't really want him to have this thing sitting around on the board while we just stare at each other. Because when that happens, that's when you start losing. I'd like to hit one more land drop so that I can have Leyline Phantom with Spell Rupture up before I play it. But I don't know if I'm going to have that luxury. But we're going to try to combo off with Shamble Shark and Leyline Phantom here on him and just see if we can get him through that. It's pretty fragile. I mean, we haven't really had a great draw for against his deck, but we'll see. I want him to attack here as well. All right, finally attacked, so that's good. So we're going to play Shamble Shark. Does it resolve? It does. All right. Land? Question mark? I'm more just curious to see if we hit a land here. Elusive Krasis. Great. That's totally fine. So we're going to play Elusive Krasis. We're going to make this guy 3 power. We're going to attack, and we're going to have Spell Rupture up. So not too bad. If he's got Devour Flesh, then that's awkward, but so it goes. All right. So 3 power, and then we're going to try to, again, we're going to try to just get there with Leyline Phantom. So our ideal draw next turn is a land. All right, so it looks like he does have Grizzly Spectacle here, but we're not going to let that happen. Now we don't care about drawing a land anymore. Now it's just replay Leyline Phantoms until we're blue in the face. Now if he goes land in Rovahor here, it's kind of awkward, but it's a good card. You know, I got to give him credit. All right, mill us a little more. There's our experiment 1 and an island. So whatever. Those are cards we don't want right now anyway. But what did he do? Ugh. Demir charmed away our elusive Krasis. Not the worst, but certainly not fun. He won't attack here, I don't think. Oh, he's got Death's Approach as well. Great. All right. So now we're just on the Leyline Phantom plan. Yeah, this isn't very good for us. I'm going to play Leyline Phantom, and I'm just going to pass. He still hasn't hit 6 mana, or he just did now, but if he didn't Rova Horde us, I wouldn't want to get destroyed. All right, it looks like he has nothing else. So we know what our plan is. Beat down and repeat. I mean, it is a 5/5, so that's good. Let's see if he's got Psychic Strike here. No, he doesn't. Okay, so we're in a position now where if the dust has actually settled, which it seems like it may have, then we might be able to get him. Yeah, it looks like our card... yeah, no, that doesn't matter. Our card draws... our what's it called is still in the... well, let's see if it's still still in our deck as well. Yeah, it's still there. So he's going to beat us down for 2 here. Yeah, still isn't the worst. I'm not saying I love it, but it's not the worst. I mean, we're winning this race. Hey, speak of the devil. Yeah, I'm just going to attack, though. I don't think we need anything else, really. Like, right now, it's just all about this guy. Excuse me, I got something in my throat. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, replay. All right, well, I don't think he's got Din Rova Horde now, so we just need to start playing out our stuff. But I am just going to keep playing out this. If we hit a land next turn, then we can Urban Evolution and expect to pretty often recast Leyline Phantom. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. All right, he's keeping the beatdowns going. We did hit that land. So let's play Urban Evolution, which is scary. If he plays any blue cards, this really does kill us faster. Maybe we don't even play it. Wouldn't that be bad? Yeah, let's attack first, actually. I want to see what he does here. I want to see if he wants to, like, start throwing Bane Alley Brokers in front. The problem is our Slaughterhorn and our Scab Clan Charger are both in the bin, so it's not like we can rip those as outs here. All right, so he's chump blocking, and he is trying to mill us out. What just happened here? Oh, we got milled. I forgot. Of course, we're going to 2. Yeah, well, I guess I'm glad I didn't play that that Urban Evolution there. All right, so I think we're dead here because he can just chump block us away. If he plays any blue card, then we're dead. And he's going to dig for 1 here. Yeah, so I forgot about the extra ability on Mind Eye Drake. I mean, not that we have a choice, but all right, so we're dead. Concede. I don't want to show him those last 2 cards. All right, so I think we got a little unlucky there in the sense that, like, getting milled for 10 is kind of random. Like, that's not normal. And then he basically played all blue cards after that. So, you know, I think we're okay. Also, we just didn't really have any pressure. You know, he was able to, like, the not unlucky part is that he just killed all our guys. He just killed everything we had. So, even though I didn't hate the position we were in there, the problem is that he did get that huge mill early, 10 cards, and that just meant that those every 2 mills from his other guy were a lot better. So I think we'll be able to get him here, though. Get a little bit better of a draw, and I think we're going to be good to go. Also, if we can ever get an Experiment 1 into a Shamble Shark into a 3-drop going, like that's really hard to beat. So we'll see. All right. We will be playing first, and we did it. Well, we did half of it. Good enough. Experiment 1 into this, and then with a backup plan seems just fine to me. Thankfully, this is a breeding pool and not the the gate, because we do have all these shamble sharks floating around, and if we draw one, it's going to be just amazing. Looks like he's tanking. All right, so this, absolutely, and that. Go. Can you beat this guy? Especially when we draw this shamble shark. All right, well, one's fine for now. And then, yeah, we're going to get to play Death Cult Rogue, and then hopefully some dudes. And that's slightly awkward, but okay. Drawing all our 5-drops here. I think that's literally all of them. But that's not too bad, as we do just want big, powerful stuff versus him. Creature! Oh, he's going to battle. Yeah, of course he's going to battle. All right, so we drew nothing. Yeah, we get to hit him for 2 here, though, and we have to attack with both because this can block this. I don't know if he will. Yeah, he decided to. I'm a little sad that he did, to be honest. I think we're going to have to just keep beating down. It depends on what if he plays Balustrade Spy here, then we've got some problems. But I really want to do this. Syndicate Enforcer is also a rogue. Okay, I guess we just have to Leyline Phantom him, I guess. It's just super awkward that we have all of these in our hand. Let's see what we draw, actually. An island. Sweet card. So the sequencing of this is very weird, because normally we would just slam this guy. And that might just be the play here. If we do that, of course you can, then we evolve this guy up and make it so that it's a trade here or whatever. If we want to regenerate it, or, you know, there's different things here. But then we also kind of commit to doing this every turn. Where if we play this, we can start getting ahead on land and actually be able to like play this and whatever. It just sucks because I want to do this too. All right, I think we just need to play Leyline Phantom here though, because I think we really need this pressure. All right, so I think that it's okay to trade here. I think. Yeah, I think that's fine. Trade our 1-drop for his 5. Yeah, that seems actually totally sweet to me, because now he's going to have a much harder time double blocking this thing, and we're going to be able to just start pressuring him. If he really does want to mill us out, he's going to have to come up with more than what he's got right now. I'm pretty tempted to just try to get this Urban Evolution going, though, and just try to commit more stuff to the board. I think we can overwhelm him here and then use Leyline Phantom to like evolve a bunch of guys, but let's see what he's got. Mind Eye Drake. All right, well, that's annoying. Ooh. There's one. So I'm thinking about getting rid of that, actually, which is kind of weird. If I rapid hybridize that, he doesn't get to keep digging for stuff, and he can't block our Death Cult Rogue. He does get a 3/3, but I think we just win this race. I'm going to do it. Take away that card from him. I'm going to make it so he can't block, and I'm going to force him to race us here. Because right now we're going to be hitting him for 7. This is just like the worst combo. Cooperate, Moto. All right, so he's got that, and then we battle him. Does he just double block, though? Actually, that's fine if he does. Yeah, that's fine by me. Because I want to get rid of this thing anyway. You kind of are. He does. All right, so do that. Yeah, this is good. This is actually very good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fire off this Urban Evolution. I'd love to get him with Mystic Genesis, but like I just can't let him outplay me by just doing nothing. Oh, that's brutal. All right, now we're losing the race, but we're not in the worst. Okay, we're in a pretty bad spot. I can't lie. Then again, drawing 4 lands in a row doesn't really help. I was hoping to be able to untap this turn and dump like 2 or 3 creatures on the battlefield, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen here. All right, so we get to counter something here. So that's nice, because at least that thing can trade with his Frog Lizard. But we need to draw some action. We just bricked off so hard. Urban Evolution into 3 lands is depressing, I'd say. All right, he just took away all of our pressure. And he's going to hit us for 4. I'd probably offer a trade here. Yeah, he's going to do that too. So he's in firm control now. He's only got 1 card in hand, but we have virtual 0. He didn't want to attack with this? Well, you're forcing me to block. I can't attack into that anyway, so. All right. No fun. Another flyer. He hits us for 4. That puts us to 5, and then we're dead next turn. So, yeah, we're just dead here. And unfortunately, I didn't hate our position there, but him having a second Mind Eye Drake and then us having just straight up nothing is pretty rough. And that is the game, boys. I will force him to attack me, but that ought to do it. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, just not enough action there. All right. So hopefully, though, that gave you guys a decent look at the Simic deck. Again, that wasn't a prototypical version of it. 3 to... I mean, you want like 3 or 4 Cloudfin Raptors. I would play way more than that. But being realistic, that's about what you'll get, and that's what you want. And as many Experiment 1s as you can get. Unfortunately, our opponent there took away our Cloudfin Raptors, it seemed, at least one of them. And... you know, that does make it a little bit tougher. Now, in that last game, we were in a reasonable board state, but unfortunately, Urban Evolution into Land is just not going to get it done. And I will say that is also a weakness of the deck. Not the flooding part. That happens in any deck you play. But the fact that, like, look at where we were. Like, a Shamble Shark at that point isn't really very good. And if we had the Cloudfin Raptors that I really wanted, at that point in the game, not very good. Like, it's a very curve-based, sort of almost like a tempo deck, where you're getting kind of a free spell every time you cast a creature for the first like 3 to 4 turns of the game. The spell being put +1/+1 counters on some of your guys. And that's how you win. When it fails, it kind of fails pretty hard. Like you can often find yourself in a position where late game, what you're hoping to draw isn't, like, you're thinking about what you want to draw, and they're not very good. So, you know, like I said, like the early drops in the Evolve guys. Elusive Crisis, same thing. All right, if you guys want to send me any feedback via email, limitedresourcespodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, you know where to find me, Marshall_LR, same name as on Magic Online here. And if you want to join the clan, 2 requirements. Do not be a jerk and love Magic. That's not that hard, right? You saw a few people join while we were playing in our draft here. It happens all the time. You can be the next one. Just message me, Marshall_LR, ask for a clan invite, and I will get you one. That's all it takes. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.